Where do you have? Okay. Okay, so let's start this. Jamie, I'm going to share my screen once again, so you can tell me if my screen is, you can see my screen. No, it's okay. Is it
Yes.
good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Okay. Welcome everyone. I see we have people showing up. Thank you for attending this webinar. My name is Nasser Malik, and I am an education advisor here at Education USA Islamabad office. So we have Jamie from Texas Tech University here. I will allow her to introduce herself. But before we go on and proceed with the webinar, let me introduce my department, Education USA, and what we do here. So what is Education USA? It's a global network under the Department of State, made up of more than 400 international student advising centers in more than 175 countries. We are your official source to US higher education, providing you updated, comprehensive, and of course unbiased information about studying in the United States. Here in Pakistan, we're part of USEFP, that stands for United States Educational Foundation in Pakistan, which is also a Fulbright commission in the country. USEFP promotes mutual understanding between the people of Pakistan and people of the United States through educational and cultural exchange. We have offices in Islamabad, Lahore, and Karachi, and we're available to support our students all across Pakistan through email, virtual, as this session is, and of course through phone calls as well. And we offer a variety of services to our students. Of course, all of this is free of cost, not charge any money. So from virtual in-house to virtual to in-person sessions and virtual sessions such as the one we are attending right now. And we offer workshops, SAT workshop, GRE workshop for grad studies. And also students who come here, they have access to our digital library. And of course, we connect you to US higher education institutions such as Texas Tech, which is happening today. And of course, we provide one-on-one advising as well. Uh, Register free for, if you haven't done so already, for free Education USA advising services by going on this website, educationusa.pk/register. And if you have any questions, you can always email us at islamabad@educationusa.org. We are active on social media as well, so you can connect with us by using hashtag #EduUSA Pakistan or hashtag USEFP. Of course, we are active on Facebook, X, and Instagram as well. And usually the Q&A protocol is this: at the end of a Jamie session, I will be moderating the Q&A for this session. So if you have any questions, you can drop those questions on the Q&A box, and I will answer them, or Jamie will answer them in the order we receive them. Finally, I'm pleased to announce Jamie who's a college recruiter for Texas Tech Graduate Center. So Jamie, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'll give the floor to you, and off you go.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nasser. I appreciate it. Hi,
Pleasure.
everyone. Good evening. My name is Jamie Mowery. I am the recruiter for the graduate school here at Texas Tech. I have been with Texas Tech for about 8 years now, so I love the school. I'm very excited to talk about it. And I'm excited to talk about your opportunities for graduate study with us. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So Texas Tech University is a Carnegie Tier 1 institute, which means that we have extremely high research activity and lots of doctoral activity. We offer 120 master's programs, more than 65 doctoral programs, over 70 certificate programs, and we have dual degree options. So if you are interested in pursuing a law degree alongside your main area of study, or maybe a medical degree in conjunction with our medical school, you have that option as well. We truly offer a little bit of everything. The tech in our name is kind of misleading if you're not super familiar with what we offer, but we offer everything from accounting to wind science. We have really great programs in the humanities, incredible STEM programs. We have a lot of agriculture programs. So basically, I tell students if it's something that you're interested in, there's a pretty good chance that we have a program for you here at Texas Tech. At Texas Tech, we are leading the way. We are in the top 1.7% of universities in the world. We're in the top 10% in graduate enrollment in U.S. universities. We're also in the top 10% for U.S. graduate STEM enrollment. And then we're in the top 100 for our business and engineering programs in the United States. We are also in the top 12% of doctoral degrees awarded in the United States. I believe we're number 42. So of all of the institutions in the United States, we are number 42 in the number of doctoral degrees awarded. This is my favorite number to kind of talk about because to me, this really speaks to the support that we have for our graduate students. The doctoral process is long and it's a lot of independent study and self-directed, but our high completion rate to me shows that we have a culture of support. We take our grad students, it's very important to us that they feel supported and that they feel like they have the resources that they need to succeed to actually complete that process and cross the stage and become a doctoral degree holder. So high enrollment, highly ranked, but also high completion rates, which I think is the most important. We are located in sunny Lubbock, Texas, which is about 4.5 hours from Dallas by car, about 5.5 to 6 hours away from Austin, which is the capital of Texas. Um, we're home to an airport, so it's fairly easy to get to Lubbock, and to get anywhere else from Lubbock. We have an incredible food scene. I think we have one of the highest restaurants per capita in the state of Texas. So if you wanted to go out to eat every night for a month, you could probably do that without going to the same restaurant twice. We've also got a great social scene. We have a lot of museums, art centers, and libraries. There's always live music happening in the city. We also have Lubbock is located on the high plains, so we are fairly windy, and we're a very dry climate. So we do have several hot days. We have 265 sunny days a year. Recently, this week, we've kind of gotten to around the 38 degrees Celsius mark. So it's warming up for summertime here pretty significantly. But with the wind, it's pretty comfortable, I'd say, and it's a dry heat, which makes it a lot more bearable. The city of Lubbock is about 270,000, and it's growing every day. But the city is largely college focused. It revolves around Texas Tech. Everyone knows Texas Tech, and the citizens are looking out for college students, and they are just excited to have the university here. So it's a really great culture and community in the city of Lubbock. The campus experience doesn't end at the edge of campus. It continues throughout the entire city, which I think is really special. We've also got a lower than average cost of living, which makes it super affordable for our graduate students or for anyone else who's looking to move here. Our rent, especially compared to some of the other large cities in Texas, is considerably lower. So it's a nice surprise when you're looking for somewhere to live, and it's pretty affordable. Part of being an R1 institute is having high research activity, and we truly have high research activity at Texas Tech. We are doing research all across campus in fields like creative capital, computational and theoretical sciences, culture and communication, integrative biosciences, finance and economics, innovative education and assessment, advanced electronics and materials, sustainable society, and truly so much more. I tell students that if there is research that they're interested in, we are probably doing it here on campus at Texas Tech. We've recently signed agreements with the United States Department of Defense to expand our national security research that we're working on. And we also have an agreement with NVIDIA. They are bringing one of their top of the line AI chips to Texas Tech and will be the first university in the United States to have access to this technology. So, very exciting. Lots of really great research is happening. We're truly pushing the boundaries, especially in the field of research. This photo here is actually taken at our Oilfield Technology Center. We are the only institution in the United States to have a fully functioning oil drilling platform and like pump jack sort of setup for our petroleum engineering students to get hands-on experience with equipment that you would see out in the field. So I think that's really exciting. We're the only campus oil drilling sort of facility in the United States, and it's a great opportunity for our students to kind of get that hands-on experience. Through our research, we are making a difference. We are home to more than 80 specialized research institutes and centers, which allows our researchers, our students, and our faculty to work together with scholars outside of their department, so to work interdisciplinary. So we have folks coming together from maybe the business school and the agriculture school at places like the Texas Wine Marketing and Research Institute, places like the Center for Communications Research or the Center for Geospatial Technology is a great way to get scholars together and collaborating with the equipment that they need. These are really great opportunities for our students, not only to pursue these kind of niche research opportunities and these more specialized projects, but also to get those interdisciplinary perspectives that they might not get otherwise, just like working within their department exclusively. Part of being an elite institution is having an incredible faculty to learn from. I have pulled 4 faculty members here from kind of all corners of campus. When I was doing the research for this slide, I think I found about 40 professors that I wanted to talk about, but I had to cut it down because that's a lot of folks to cover. So we'll cover these 4. Dr. Bradley is a professor of biology and the director of the TTU Natural Science Research Laboratory. He's been awarded nearly $12 million in grant funding for his research in conservation, disease mitigation, and landscape development. Dr. Bjork is a professor of history, specializing in oral history methodology and African political history. He was recently awarded a Fulbright faculty fellowship to teach at the University of Iringa in Tanzania and research the 60s and 70s economy there. Professor Prussia is a professor of costume design. Her work in integrating costume design in non-traditional contexts like first responder training has earned her the Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Research and the TTU Presidential Award for Engaged Creative Activity. And Dr. Pogren is a professor of special education and the coordinator of the programs for teachers of students with visual impairments. She's been in the field of visual impairment for over 50 years and has been awarded more than $12 million in grant funding for her work. So we have some incredibly successful faculty members who are being recognized nationally and internationally for their work in all fields across campus. So we have several members of our engineering faculty who are in the International Conference of Inventors, I believe. We've got lots of folks with sort of international accolades at the graduate school. We also have a 21 to 1 student faculty ratio, so you have the opportunity to work closely with these folks who are titans of their industry. Especially as a graduate student, you have the opportunity to receive mentorship from these folks and work closely with them and create those connections that you could take with you um, throughout your career and for the rest of your life, which is exciting. At the graduate school, we are committed to supporting your growth. I mentioned that we are in the top 12% of doctoral degrees awarded in the United States, and we don't do that by ourselves. We have help from the Graduate Center and the Graduate Writing Center. The Graduate Center is a support resource and kind of hub for our graduate students. We offer professional development workshops to help our students develop the soft skills that employers are really looking for. Career development research is showing that actual disciplinary knowledge, like what you learn from your degree, is number 9 in the list of things that employers are searching for when they're hiring. So it's they prefer for you to have that information, but they're also looking for communication skills and problem solving skills and teamwork and things like that. And so our professional development workshops that we host at the Graduate Center are held with that in mind. We are trying to equip our students with the information that they need that maybe can't be learned in a traditional classroom setting. We also offer computer lab and study spaces. This is a great place on campus to go study. We have computers that are open for our students to use. We host student life activities. So for Welcome Week in the fall and the spring, we host a whole week of activities for our students to meet each other, get to know campus, get to know your fellow grad students, things like that. And then we also host a series of events for Graduate Student Appreciation Week, um, along with others just kind of throughout the semester. But those are our big sort of event weeks. The Graduate Center also is home to library research consultations and statistical consulting. So if you ever need help organizing your data or finding research opportunities or sources, things like that, we have folks on our staff who can help you. The Graduate Writing Center is exclusively for our graduate students, and it aims to enhance student skills at every step of the writing process. Their main offering is one-on-one writing consultations, where you will sit with their consultant and you guys will talk through whatever piece of writing you are working on. So if it is a draft of something, or maybe you're brainstorming a piece, or you're preparing something for publication, you can bring that to the Writing Center and you guys can talk through that process and work on what you think needs to be worked on. So if you are looking for organizational help or help using commas correctly or making sure that you're not using run-on sentences, things like that, they can help you out at the Writing Center. They also host writing groups, which is a semester-long accountability process where you meet with the same group of students all semester for 3 hours a week, and you all show up, compare your goals, and write for that whole time. This is really great if you're working on your thesis or your dissertation because it gives you that built-in block of writing time every week to keep you accountable, and you have a group of people that you're working with that will also help hold you accountable. Also, for that thesis and dissertation process, we offer thesis and dissertation boot camps. These are a week-long event that we do in the fall and the spring for our students who are working on completing those large independent writing projects at the Writing Center and also online. They host workshops. We have a lot of designated writing time where everyone is just working on their project. We do goal setting, and also they do lunch at the Writing Center for those events. And then the Writing Center hosts a number of fundamentals workshops. So if you need to brush up on your citation styles or how to make an annotated bibliography, just anything that maybe you need to brush up on, the Writing Center is going to offer a workshop for. So it's a really great way to sort of hone your fundamentals and review maybe some things that you haven't learned in a while. These are our graduate student specific support resources at Texas Tech. We have a number of of campus resources that are available to all of our students. We have our Office of International Affairs is incredible for helping our students navigate the immigration process and the transition process to moving to Texas and living in Lubbock. They have a student life unit that holds a number of student events and can connect you with our peer mentors, international students who have come to the United States who are a year or so into their program and maybe a little like established that can help sort of guide you through the transition process. They have a number of cultural events that they host. They do the International Cultural Fair in the fall, and things like that to kind of connect our international students and their culture to the broader campus community. We have several other support resources. Our Learning Center and our Testing Center are great for students who need a little extra help. Our Student Disability Services Office is nationally ranked for being one of the best in the United States. So if you need any kind of accommodations, that's available to you. So lots of support resources at Texas Tech. At the graduate school, obviously, with that being in the top 12% of doctoral degrees awarded, we take our support very seriously. But the culture at Texas Tech University as a whole is one of student success. We want you to succeed. We want you to complete the degree that you came for, achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. You have access to our Career Center during your time as a student at Texas Tech, but also for the rest of your life. Once a Red Raider, always a Red Raider. So you can always come back to our Career Center for help with interview practice or have your CV or resume looked over, or even check our Texas Tech job boards. So you have those opportunities as well, as a student with us, but also as an alum once you graduate. So when it's time to take the leap and apply to the graduate school here at Texas Tech, you can apply online at go.grad.tt.edu/apply. Our application, so we are currently accepting applications for fall of 2026. Some of those applications are closed. They've been open since October, so some of them have closed. Some programs are still accepting applications. Um, we are currently accepting applications also for spring of 2027. Those just opened on April 1st. Our priority deadline for spring 2027 is June 15th. This is our recommended deadline, especially for international students to apply by. This gives you priority decision for not only your admission decision, so seats in the program, but funding opportunities, as well as having enough time to get your admissions decision, file for your I-20 with us, schedule your visa appointment, get approved for the visa, and then travel to Texas. So that priority deadline is just kind of a recommended deadline set by the graduate school to ensure that you, excuse me, have time to successfully join us for the spring semester. Applications for summer and fall of 2027 are going to open in early October, and the priority deadline there is going to be January 15th. Each program sets their own hard deadline, so it's really going to depend on the program that you're interested in. If you are thinking about applying, and maybe you're considering fall of 2026, or you're curious what those application deadlines look like, there's a QR code on the screen now. Once I finish the presentation, I will also put the link to that webpage in case you can't scan the QR code. But that's going to be a list of our programs, deadlines, and advisor contacts. So it lists every program that we offer, as well as the terms of application that are open and the deadline for those programs. So you have that information. Once you decide to apply, you'll have to get together some requirements for the application. At the graduate school level, we require unofficial copies of any and all transcripts, diplomas, and mark sheets that you might have in the original language and the certified translation. We've got information about our accepted translations and kind of our preferred translations on our website if that's something that you have questions about. We are also going to require proof of English proficiency. We offer several different, we accept several different types of English proficiency exam. We accept Duolingo with a minimum score of 100. We accept the TOEFL, both the old one before I think January is when they switched over to a new scoring system, and the new scoring system, the IELTS, and then there are a couple other, the Cambridge and the Pearson, that we accept as well. We also have some students are exempt from our English proficiency requirement. Unfortunately, Pakistan is not one of those listed countries, but if you have either citizenship in a different country or you have attended 2 years of school in an approved country, you have the opportunity to be exempt from that requirement. Our departmental requirements, this is going to depend largely on your program. So each program is going to have their own requirements they set, depending on what they're looking for. Pretty typically, we see anywhere from 1 to 3 letters of recommendation. This is going to be anyone in your life who can attest to your aptitude for graduate study. So if you have faculty members that you've worked with, maybe a research advisor, that's great. Professors who have taught your class, who are familiar with your work and your work ethic, that's great. If you have a supervisor at a job who can attest to your work ethic and your character, things like that, that is also acceptable for a recommendation. We tell students to avoid using a family member or a friend as a reference, just because you want someone who kind of has an official title and can talk about your work ethic, if that makes sense. You might also be asked for your resume or your CV for your statement of purpose or personal statement. So who you are, why you're interested in doing this program, and why you want to come to Texas Tech specifically for this program. Excuse me. Excuse me. You might be asked for a writing sample. I see this pretty typically in like English and history, less so in the STEM fields. Students interested in a fine arts degree or an architecture degree might be asked for a portfolio. And students interested in business programs will be asked for GMAT scores. Texas Tech Graduate School is GRE optional right now through summer of 2027. We will make an announcement regarding fall of 27 and beyond before we open applications for fall of 27 in October. For the whole time I've been with the graduate school, so the past 4 years, we've been GRE optional. So I anticipate us to stay GRE optional, but that is subject to change. We also have a holistic admissions approach, so we have no minimum GPA requirement to apply to any of our programs. You can apply with the GPA that you have. Everything that you give us as part of the of the application process will be used to make that admissions decision. So if you're worried about your GPA, having strong letters of recommendation can help make up for that. Just kind of balancing your entire application, because we will use all of it to make that decision. I also want to mention that Texas Tech Graduate School has an in-house evaluation team, so you are not required to contract WES for any kind of third-party evaluation. We've got staff that will handle that for you. So you just have to submit those unofficial PDF copies of those documents at the application, at that point in the application. Funding is a big question at the graduate level, and there are different opportunities for graduate students than there are undergraduate students. The main difference is going to be assistantship funding. This is a job that you complete for the university in exchange for tuition waiver and a living stipend. At Texas Tech, we offer teaching assistantships and research assistantships. So maybe you will assist a professor and maybe give a lecture, grade some papers, do office hours as a teaching assistant, and or help out in a lab as a research assistant. We will waive most of your tuition and pay you a living stipend on top of that in exchange for the work that you're doing for the university. So that is probably the main way of funding. It ends up shaking out to about full funding. just with the waivers plus the living stipend on top of that. These are apply at Texas Tech Graduate School. You are applying for assistantship positions when you submit your application for admission. So having a strong application is going to be key because not only does it decide whether or not you get in the program, but it decides whether or not the program is going to hire you as an assistant uh, to have that funding opportunity. We also offer fellowships at the graduate school level. These are merit-based financial assistance that you can apply for. We offer internal graduate school fellowships here to our students and students who are interested in attending. And then there's also a number of external fellowships that students can apply for. So there are several through the federal government of the United States, like the Fulbright Fellowship, the National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship Program, NSFGRFP. You have the option to apply for these. Our internal graduate school fellowships, those applications open in November every year for the upcoming fall. So if you are interested in joining us for fall of 2027, this November, your fellowship application will open. You don't have to have been accepted to the graduate school at Texas Tech. You don't have to have even completed your application when you apply for this fellowship funding. So I always recommend that our students apply for that funding. If you are thinking even for a second of joining us here at Texas Tech Graduate School, I recommend applying for our fellowship funding. And I will put the link to our fellowship webpage in the chat once I finish this presentation. We also have a number of scholarships that are available at the department level. So your application for admission is also your application for departmental funding, so scholarships from the department. And then graduate students are eligible for loans, both federal and private. But I put that last on this slide because it's kind of your last option. You have more opportunities as a graduate student to fund your education. And so there are more avenues to explore before choosing a student loan. So that is my presentation. I will go ahead and put some links in the chat here in just a second, so that way you all have them, and in case you need them in the future. If you have any questions at all about Texas Tech Graduate School or the application process, studying in Texas or the United States even, you can always email us at graduate.admissions@ttu.edu. You could give us a call and talk to someone in our office, and then you can connect with us on social media. We are at TTU Grad School, just about everywhere that your media is social. Our YouTube account is also a great place to check out. We are posting videos fairly frequently of research activity that's happening. Our commencement is this weekend. I think today and tomorrow is our commencement ceremonies, so we'll have a video out about commencement pretty soon. So lots of opportunities to kind of see what's going on here and to connect with us at the graduate school.
Thank you, Jamie. That was nice. So let me go ahead and read out the questions to you. And so the first question is, I'm very interested in applying to the PhD program in education. Could you please let me know whether fee waivers codes are offered for applicants?
That's a great question. So our fee waiver opportunities are going to be largely on the department level. So I recommend reaching out to the education department and asking if they are able to offer you a fee waiver code. Sometimes departments are able to accommodate that request and provide you with that, but not always. So it's not a guaranteed.
What's the criteria and requirement to apply for the scholarship at Texas Tech School?
So for your application for admission is your application for general scholarship funding at your department level. So that is automatic as part of your application. If you are interested in applying for our fellowships, there's no minimum requirements for that. You just have to complete that fellowship application. And then we also have more general scholarships at Texas Tech that you can apply for outside of the graduate school. And I can put a link to our funding webpage in the chat, so we have that resource available.
Okay. And can a BS graduate with an IELTS 6.0 be accepted into graduate program into Texas Tech University?
So we do require a 6.5 on the IELTS. So if you are able to take that again, that would be preferable. Maybe try a different exam. If you are a student with a paid application on file with us at the graduate school, we are able to provide a Duolingo test coupon code. So if you pay your application fee with us, you can take the Duolingo exam for free, um, and get that score back.
Opportunity for life students, life sciences students, such as pharmacy and public health, etc. Summer programs, question mark.
So the Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center is within the Texas Tech University system. They're a separate school, so I know a little bit about their programs. We have a school of pharmacy, and we also have a school of public health. So those are opportunities available here. I believe in Lubbock, those schools are located. So you could be here in Texas, in Lubbock, to pursue those opportunities, but it would not be through the main graduate school.
Okay. USCFP is doing a great job by connecting students to the US universities, but many professors don't reply to international students.
That is a tough one. We have a tough time with all of our students kind of getting in contact with their professors, especially when they're looking for lab availability or research opportunities. Um, if you are having trouble reaching out to faculty at Texas Tech and likely, I don't want to speak for other graduate schools, but likely other graduate schools, reach out to the main admissions line. So for us, it's graduate.admissions@ttu.edu, and kind of let us know. Our faculty members are all very busy. They have their own research projects, and they're all teaching, and they're all advising PhD students. And so they are busy folks who don't always have they're not always checking their email the way that maybe we would like them to be doing. So if you get in contact with us at the main admissions office, we can help get you in contact with the department and maybe with those faculty members and try to make those connections.
Do we need to have a prospective supervisor's acceptance before applying?
This is extremely dependent on the program. Some of our PhD programs will just have you apply and you'll sort out who your advisor will be once you've been admitted. But other programs, specifically, I know computer science PhD is going to require you to have secured an advisor before applying. So definitely check that department website, reach out to the program advisor, and kind of make sure that you know whether or not you need to have that advisor lined up before you apply.
Okay, and is there a class limit, class size limit?
That's also going to be pretty department specific. Departments have different funding allocations, different faculty like amounts to allow for more or fewer classes. So it's hard for us to say exactly how many students will be accepted to any given program because that's so specific to the program.
Okay, and do you offer fully funded PhD scholarships?
We do. So some of our departments guarantee that their PhD students will be fully funded. I know chemistry PhD, our psychology PhDs do as well. Um, there are not every PhD offers full funding to all of their students, but there are more opportunities for PhD students to be fully funded.
Okay. I'm currently doing my master's in computer science. What are the three most important things to do I need to do to secure a fully funded PhD in computer science?
So for us, it's going to be securing your advisor, because our computer science PhD does need to have an advisor before you apply. I think having a strong personal statement. This is what I tell students, and I preface by saying I don't make any admissions decisions. I think that the personal statement is going to be the most important part of your application because that's the point where you get to actually show the admissions committee who you are as an applicant, as a student. You're more than just a list of numbers on a page. You get to talk about why you're interested in this, why you're studying computer science, and then why specifically Texas Tech would be a good fit for you. This is a great way to signal interest in the school. It makes the admissions committee feel like you're committed to coming here when you identify specific reasons to come to this institution. Um, I know that you're going to apply to several grad programs. I want you to apply to several graduate programs, if that's an opportunity that you have. but the admissions committee doesn't want to feel like one of the programs you're applying to, if that makes sense. So tailoring that personal statement, and then having strong letters of recommendation as well, I think is also a great way to kind of boost your application and make it stronger.
Okay. Hi. Do you have any PhD programs in the field of robotics? Do I need a supervisor acceptance before applying?
We don't have an explicit robotics PhD. We have a mechanical engineering PhD, and I believe an industrial engineering PhD, which might be further from robotics. We have classes in robotics, and we definitely have student organizations and like instructors doing robotics projects, but there's no explicit graduate program in robotics.
Okay. Does university accept medium of instructions as language proficiency?
We do not accept medium of instruction as language proficiency.
Okay. I've completed MPhil in statistics with 3.6 CGPA in 2021. Now I'm interested in PhD program in biostatistics, statistics, data sciences field. I have zero publications. What are the chances to avail fully funded opportunities at Texas Tech? Please also mention IELTS score for PhD.
So I don't know that we have opportunities at the PhD level. Let me triple check before I. So we offer data science as a master's program. We offer statistics as a master's program. And we offer like biotechnology as a master's program. I don't know that we have a PhD in statistics or data science specifically. We do have a mathematics PhD. Um, I think even with zero publications, we definitely have PhD students who come in with zero publications. I think having, especially if you have work history in that time, you said that you graduated several years ago, so having work history, especially if it's in industry, could be helpful. We have folks come back all the time, like from industry to continue their education. We have students, I think having those strong letters of recommendation, having a personal statement that explains why you would be coming back and why pursuing a PhD is of interest to you despite having no publications, maybe not having prior research experience necessarily. I think that would also be a good thing to include in that application to kind of frame your decision to go back to school and to pursue that PhD despite maybe not having research, at least published research experience previously.
Okay, one
Um,
student. Yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought.
oh yeah, I was gonna say as far as the IELTS scores, those are the same for all of our programs. It's gonna be um, a 6.5
Okay.
or higher.
And, and do you cater any startups, any innovation, PhD innovation in your programs?
We don't ha So we have a business administration PhD. We have a couple different certificates in entrepreneurship and like startup management. And then we have several institutions on campus that are devoted to student startups. So the Innovation Hub hosts a couple different incubator style events or like Shark Tank style events where you pitch your startup and they sort of nurture and help you grow it. But we don't have a startup focused grad program at the master's or the PhD level. You would likely pursue a degree that is adjacent to whatever startup you're looking to found. And then you can kind of gain those entrepreneur and business skills throughout your program alongside sort of that disciplinary knowledge.
Me and my wife wants to apply for PhD. My wife aims to pursue PhD in English literature, and I want to apply for PhD in AI. Please guide us in brief so that our chances are increased. We both are professionals having more than 8 years of experience.
Yeah, it's very excited that you and your wife want to pursue continuing your education together. That's very exciting. We do have a PhD in English literature at Texas Tech. We don't necessarily have a PhD in AI. We've got a computer science PhD, and we have mechanical engineering. We also, our business department has started offering AI business programs. So you likely could pursue a PhD in business administration with the focus on AI. Um, but I think just maximizing and making your applications as strong as possible. having strong internal reasons for pursuing these programs and plans for what you plan on doing. I think having 8+ years in industry together or each is great for kind of building context around your decision to pursue a PhD. So building that into the application and kind of making that part of your statement of purpose and like the why surrounding your application is going to be really useful and a great way to kind of leverage that experience.
Okay. Jamie, while we understand, GPA is not the only factor that you guys consider when it comes to scholarships, but is there any minimum required GPA for scholarship at Texas Tech?
Nope. We have no minimum GPA requirement for our funding opportunities nor our programs. Any GPA whatever your GPA is, you are welcome to apply for all of our opportunities.
Okay. I am chemical engineering final semester student, so there are any master's program for chemical engineering for 2026, 2027?
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations for being in your final semester. That's very exciting. We do. We have chemical engineering at the master's and the PhD level. So those are opportunities that are available at Texas Tech for you.
Any fully funded scholarship for PhD in life sciences?
We offer a PhD in biology that will has the opportunity for full funding through our assistantships and through our graduate part-time instructor positions, which are often given to our PhD students. So through biology we do, and then I believe that there are several in like human development that also I believe count as life science.
Opportunities for nutrition department students.
We have a master's and a PhD in nutrition, so you have those opportunities with us. Um, I'm not super familiar with their research opportunities over in nutrition, but I do know that we have a pretty robust nutrition department and that that is an opportunity that you have with us.
Okay. Are agriculture courses for masters offered here at Texas Tech?
Yes, absolutely. We have several agricultural programs. We have ag communication, ag education, plant and soil science, animal science, food science. We're doing basically everything in agriculture. We have uh, a plant, we have a crop farm off campus, we have a greenhouse on campus, we have a cattle lot that our students can do research on. So lots and lots of agriculture happening.
Okay. You talked about fee waiver, but it's up to you if you want to repeat that. Any fee waiver available for PhD in computer science? Also, deadlines are still open for fall 2026.
So for fee waivers, I recommend reaching out to the program advisor. So it's going to be department specific whether or not they're able to grant you a fee waiver. For fall of 26, it looks like computer science is still accepting applications for the MS and the PhD through June 1st. But I do caution, just keep in mind the length of time that's going to take for you to apply to receive a decision. That's taking our students anywhere from 4 weeks to 2 months, depending on how many applications the department receives. Computer science is our most popular program, so it might take a little longer to receive a decision. From there, you'll have to receive your I-20 from us, schedule your visa appointment, and actually plan to travel to the United States. So just keep in mind kind of that timeline when you're making a decision about what term to apply for.
Okay. Hello, I'm interested in pursuing my PhD in psychology with fully funded programs. Need guidance, please. My CGPA is 3.02 in my post-graduation.
We have several opportunities for a PhD in psychology. We have a counseling psychology program, a clinical psychology program, and an experimental psychology program. Those three PhD programs are all fully funded, so if you are admitted, you have that funding available to you. We also, if you're interested in doing psychology research, I'd recommend one of those programs. We also offer a PhD in couple marriage family therapy. So if you are more interested in being a counselor or a therapist, we have programs at the PhD level available for that as well.
Got it. What is the application fee for graduate application?
Our application fees, it is $75 for your first application for any given term, and then $25 for any application for the same term after that. So if you were to apply for mechanical engineering for fall of 2026, it'd be $75. And then if you wanted to also apply for industrial engineering for fall of 26, that application would be $25. After a certain point in time, the application fee does change to $100, kind of closer to the start of the semester. But I don't know when. Okay, it is $100 after April 15th for fall applications. So right now it is $100 that first application for the fall of 26 term.
Okay, hello. I'm currently a seventh semester software engineering student and willing to pursue master's in cybersecurity. My priority is funding. What do you suggest to work on my profile in the remaining time of my degree to make it strongly eligible for a scholarship slash fellowship?
Yeah, I think having research experience, publications are great, but if publications aren't something that you are able to achieve in that time, that's it's not a worry. But having research experience, whether in a lab with a faculty member that you work with, or research experience um, working on your own kind of research that is sponsored by a faculty member. These are both great ways to kind of signal that you are prepared for an upper level program and that you will succeed at the graduate level. Especially a lot of our funding opportunities are going to be based on research, right? So you're kind of looking for a research assistantship that's uh, in terms of our funding opportunities, students are most looking for research assistantships because you have the opportunity to get the funding and do the research that will later be the basis for your thesis or your dissertation. Um, so having research experience will be great for setting you up to receive a research assistantship.
I'm an electrical engineer, almost 10 years working experience, looking for a graduate program. What are the requirements for a person with my experience?
Yeah, this is a great question. I think the main requirement for all of our programs is just to have completed a bachelor's degree. From there, it's a matter of kind of how you frame your application. So, if you would provide us with your undergraduate documents, and then through your personal statement and through your application, your letters of recommendation, you could have supervisors from your 10 years of experience and folks that you've worked with and talk about in your personal statement your decision to come back to education and your decision to pursue a higher degree after 10 years in industry. I think that these are great ways to kind of explain the gap in your education, but also to leverage your experience as something to, as an asset to you that you would bring to the program.
If I want to start my graduate degree by 2028 fall, when should I start my application process and when does the classes for the fall semester start?
Our applications for fall of 2028 are going to open in October 1st of 2027. So about a year in advance is when you should start thinking about those. That's also about when our fellowship application opens, so it's great timing for fall start students. All of that kind of opens around the same time. The fall semester starts mid-August. So I believe our start date for like I-20 purposes is August 15th or the 11th. So you would be in Texas in August, and then you would start your classes around the 20th of August.
Okay. Disabled students, can they apply for PhD? Any quota for disabled students?
We absolutely accept applications from disabled students. We have our student disability service on campus. Office on campus is great for helping our students get accommodations. We are a disability friendly campus, and so we are more than willing to work with our students to make sure that you are set up for success.
Okay. Can we submit language proficiency score later after the application or is mandatory with the application?
It'll be mandatory so in order for us to make a decision on your application, we'll need your English proficiency score. You can submit your application without it, but it will be returned to you as incomplete.
Okay. How much bank statement is required for a PhD?
That is a good question. So we have an international post-admit team who kind of handles our I-20 information. I believe it's maybe $40,000 on the I-20, but it would be best to email graduate.admissions@tt.edu and we can get you connected with those folks.
Got it. Can I apply for a master's degree when I'm in my seventh semester?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as the term that you apply for is after you will have completed your bachelor's degree program. So if you're in your seventh semester and you're graduating in fall of 26, so if you graduate this December, you are welcome to complete your application for an upcoming term before you have even graduated.
Okay. Are you offering on-campus PhD in nursing? I've completed my master's in nursing thesis work with a great distinction along with CGPA of 3.78. If yes, what is the application? What is the application starts? Okay, when and if I start class in August 2027.
So we do have a School of Nursing. It is through that Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center. So I'm not super familiar with those processes. I know that we have nursing programs, and we do have a Doctor of Nursing practice available to students. So I definitely recommend Googling TTU Nursing for more information and reaching out to those folks. I wish I knew more, but I don't.
For research assistantship, are publication necessary?
I don't know that they're necessary. It's definitely going to help your opportunities if you have prior demonstrated research experience. But as long as you have a strong application, I think that you are going to be considered for all of our opportunities.
I know you deal with graduate school, but there's a question regarding BS program. So my nephew is seeking admission in BS program in computer science. What is the procedure? Any contact?
You could reach out to admissions at tt.edu. Those folks, that is our undergraduate admission help email box. They can help with that. They have more information kind of about what they're looking for your nephew.
Okay. Kindly share the Texas Tech University website for psychology admission and PhD and PhD.
I will put the psychology website in the chat.
Okay. Any chances to get into PhD psychology with 3.0 CGPA and two publications? So far, I've done my post-graduation in 2020 and got 6 years of experience in education field.
I think that as long as you have a strong application, as long as you take the experience that you do have and you can leverage it properly and kind of explain why this is something that you're interested in, then I think that you are more than welcome to apply. And yeah, I think having a strong application is really going to make the difference.
Application deadline for fall 2026 intake.
It's going to depend on the program. Our priority deadline for fall was January 15th, but we are still accepting applications for several of our programs. You'll want to check the list of programs, deadlines, and advisor contacts, and that will give you the definitive hard deadline for your program.
Okay, we have still, so our time is up, Jamie. So for those whose questions were not answered, you have written, you have given us the email address where the students can contact you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let me read out that. What is that? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So those whose questions are not answered, please email. Let me see if I can. Yeah, graduate.admissions@ttu.edu. Jamie, once again, thank you so much for such an informative session. We still have a bunch of questions, but I'm afraid our time is up. So, and we always, appreciate Texas Tech and any university in the United States who help our students out. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you everyone for showing up. Our time's up, and have a great week.
Thank you all so much.
Take care.